walking on faith. Oh, when you're living on faith, something's got to give. Something's got to give.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Jaren, and I know that I've been a little bit absent from releasing a few movie review videos. I've had a little bit of a writer's block. There's just been so much going on in life, especially with work, that I just had to take a break. Also, my brother was in town, and we got to celebrate his birthday, which was amazing. So it was a nice little break, and just kind of needed to get back in touch with, spending time with the family and a few friends. And today I finally had time to get in front of the camera and talk to you guys about a movie called American Fiction. You might know that it's up for a few Oscar nominations, and personally I think they deserve more. But we follow the story of a novelist who's fed up with the establishment for profiting off of black entertainment. So he decides to use a pen name in order to write a novel that propels him into the heart of hypocrisy and madness that he disdains. If there was any other Oscar contender other than The Iron Claw that was getting overlooked this season, it's this American classic right here. Had I not known about the buzz that was going on around this movie, I wouldn't have dug through my pile of screeners in order to check it out before award season was over. And I know that it had a small theatrical run, especially here on the island of Maui, but I wish I got to check it out with a packed theater with a really big crowd, because this dramedy was unexpectedly hilarious. This is in fact based upon the novel called Erasure by Percival Everett, and with Cord Jefferson, who has co-written and produced TV shows like The Good Place and HBO's Watchmen, pens the script and makes his directional debut with this particular film here. And there's a lot of talent behind the camera, especially when it comes to executing the character study and some of the more slice of life moments that are more entertaining and riveting for its audience. I do enjoy that we get two different movies happening in this one particular story. Starting off with the more poignant and melodramatic family dilemma, we have Jeffrey Wright playing Monk. He's a writer-professor who returns to his hometown in order to care for his mother, and he's also trying to reconnect with his estranged brother Cliff, who's beautifully portrayed by Sterling K. Brown, and he also ends up making a connection with a neighbor named Coraline, who fancies him beyond his written works. The centered story that we follow Monk in is how fed up he is about the mediocre and stereotypical views on black culture. But it turns out that mediocrity and stereotypes is what sells in the market of his passion. So he decides to write one out of spite, as a joke, and bam, it's a hit. With the amount of money that the publishers are offering him, he just thinks that it's going to help him out with his financial rut, so he goes along with it. And the further and further that he snowballs this fib, the more that he unravels at how much people are still willing to buy into his lie. Addressing some of the talent here would have to be our Oscar-nominated lead, Jeffrey Wright, as Monk. Now, Wright has always been that actor that was in the backdrop of a lot of movies that I enjoy. My introduction to his filmography started off with projects like Lady in the Water or Casino Royale. And he was always very articulate as an actor, and I never thought I would see him be the concrete leading man up until now. His performance here has definitely got my attention because he really just goes for it, whether how subtle his humor is, with a little bit of contradicting sarcasm, to how uproarious he could be when he's upset. But he really steals the spotlight when he decides to play up the stereotypical thug everyone expects him to be. As a character study, I like that Monk's strengths are also his weaknesses. Like, he's a writer, he makes shit up. But for example, like when he visits his family, he likes to stand out but yearns to feel included. He also puts himself down before anyone else could point out his flaws. And when he writes his book, in order to rub his publisher's noses in it, he's upset with himself because people actually love it. He knows that his new work is trash and soulless, and it critically kills him inside as an artist. His readers are going to assume that this is the new benchmark for literature, a degradation on race that he cannot relate to. It almost reflects on the content, the media, and the movies that we watch as consumers nowadays. Ever since that streaming platforms have become more accessible, the movies that are made on the cheap, the quality that has been more affordable, are the ones that are easily marketable. And I gotta say, the more that people end up watching the half-ass stuff that Hollywood dishes out, the more that Hollywood thinks that that's the only thing that they should be selling. And I'm not saying that every streaming TV show or movie is terrible. I'm just saying that there has just been an influx of them. It's an influx that has affected filmmaking for the theater going experience. And with the strike that occurred between the studios, the actors, and the writers last year, that is proof that movies just aren't the same and made the same as they used to be. And that's kind of what Monk sees in literature. Nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role is Sterling K. Brown, who plays Monk's brother Cliff, and he is going through his own dilemma, whether that would be a recent divorce, resentment from his kids, drug addiction, and homosexuality. And unlike Cliff, who is looking to stand out, Cliff is struggling to find acceptance in his own honesty. By living as freely as he pleases, he regrets not living it any sooner. And I swear they gave Cliff the best lines of the entire movie, and whether that would be him being the comic relief or the visceral gut punch, his performance wins an award in my book. Without giving too much away, the entire third act was an absolute treat. I swear the judges getting together to agree, disagree, rank, and eliminate the best novels was kind of a reflection on my critic society and our picks for movies. The debate and revelation between Wright and Issa Rae was brilliantly written, and never in a long time has there been a charming execution for a movie where we would get four completely different endings and four completely different possibilities that would round up everything and close this story. Overall, this was a rich, witty, razor sharp, and wholehearted satire that is both outrageously funny and powerfully moving. Compared to the rest of the other Oscar nominations, this is one that I cannot stop recommending to watch. It's one of 2023's best, and personally, made my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Alright guys, that's all I got to share about that movie. Go ahead and check it out if it's still playing in your local theater during award season, or if you can find it on VOD somehow. I'm not sure when it's going to get a physical release, but I definitely want to see it again. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm Jaren Agbanawag, and I also want to be very thankful about you guys taking your time out of your day to hear me talk some movies. Look forward to more reviews, and I will see you guys at the movies. In the meantime, take care.
Gotta give a little